let's shift gears. 9:05
Yes.
in the morning, and Miles is on the phone. Miley Cyrus. Miley.
Miley.
Yo, yo.
Yo. Well, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm much better. Happy to be on the phone with you guys. Happy to be getting back on the road. You have no idea.
I mean, we're all worried about you, obviously. And let's just go back to when you were first admitted to the hospital. What happened?
Oh, my God. So, basically, I had gotten sick while I was out on the road. And, I mean, definitely nothing compared to what ended up happening to me. So, I had gotten just like a little, I feel like everyone has had this ongoing little, like, cough thing. So I had gotten some medicine. I had to cancel a show when I was in North Carolina because I was not feeling very good, and just felt like I had a little bit of like a flu kind of cold situation. And then they gave me some medicine. I was on this medicine for 5 days. Everything was all good, and on the 6th day, I just woke up, and it was totally, sorry, my alarm's going off. It was so scary. I mean, I woke up, and it was like, I mean, when you're allergic to something, you're literally poisoning yourself. So I had just basically been poisoning myself for a week of something I didn't know I was really scary allergic to, and you know, it was so scary. Just being on the road, especially me, I'm not someone that wants to lay down and actually get 100% better. So I was in the hospital the one night, and then they let me out of the hospital, and I was ready to do the show, and I woke up that morning and I had to go back to the hospital, and then I left the hospital again because I was like, listen, I gotta do my show. So I left the hospital again, and then about 3 hours later, everything was back, and I was back having this insane reaction, and so it was like every 2 or 3 hours I would be okay, and then all of a sudden it would happen to me again, and it was insane. But I was begging the doctor to let me out just to go do the show, and
Sure.
There was basically no way. And then I never thought I would kind of get stuck in there for as long as I did. I thought it was going to maybe be a night, and I was actually there for 5 or 6 days.
And at one point, I saw you send out a message saying that you were in tears. I mean, really, really upset. What was most difficult for you in going through all of this?
I was honestly just not being out on the road. I mean, because it was at one point it was like, they had me on so much stuff that was making me basically not in the pain anymore, that I would feel good. I would be laying there and be like, okay, well, I've been, I feel good, so can I go? Can I get back on the stage? Because that was really the hardest part. I'm just not, and especially actually, I did actually think about you. I almost texted you when I was there because I was thinking about your foundation and how I'm actually so excited to get more involved and help more of the kids that have to spend more time in the hospitals, because it was, I am such a baby, and I can't believe how brave. Actually, I got to see some of the kids because they had me in different areas. They wanted me to, be able to be private and all that. And I just don't know how these kids and these families spend so much time there, because it's just, you have to be like, it's just such an intense situation, and I'm such a baby. I don't know how these kids do this. I mean, everything just having to deal with doctors, and it's such a scary situation. And I've never experienced it. I've never spent any time like that. I mean, we've been really blessed. I have 5 brothers and sisters. None of this, something like this has never happened. None of us have ever gotten put into the hospital like this. None of us have ever spent time like this, and so it was really scary for me, and like scary for my mom, because none of us have ever had anything like this happen, and it was really insane.
It is incredibly tough, especially when you don't know how long you're going to be there. And I've met, we talk about these kids. I've met some of these kids and their parents who come in for what they think is going to be a week, and they're there for months, or they have to keep coming back for years.
Yeah, it's insane. I was even talking, even my mom, we were saying, this is such a little scale. I mean, this is nothing compared to what these, amazing kids have to deal with. This is on such a tiny scale, but I felt like I just got a glimpse into what it feels like being stuck in this room. And especially, I mean, what you do is so amazing by giving them music and giving them, like, things to do, because that was the problem. I was just crying because I was so bored. I was like, I'm just laying here. I'm hooked to all these machines. Every 2 hours, some woman comes in and pokes me with a needle, and it's just miserable. And, there's nothing to do. There's, I tweeted about not having Apple TV, which was one of the other things I did. Because I was like, I'm just laying here with nothing to do. I couldn't figure out. I'm like, my sister went and bought me a bunch of DVDs. She went and got me like she got me. It was funny. My sister's option. She brought me Clueless and The Shining, and they were both Blu-ray, and of course they don't have that at the hospital either. So I couldn't watch that. I was just laying there. I ended up, doing way too much online shopping, and whatever they had me on to make me not in pain, I made some very questionable choices on what I bought.
Oh my God!
I had to take everything back. I'm like, I do not know what this hot pink mini skirt is that I bought in the hospital. Whatever they had me on, but I did a lot of online shopping while I was laying in that bed.
But so is there any other long-term impact or issue, or is this all behind you? Because I know that you were admitted for one thing, and then you had a reaction to what they gave you.
Right.
Are you clear now?
I should be all good. I mean, what was the worst was basically what happens with this reaction is it can happen from 5 to 27 days. I didn't know I was going to be stuck there for 27 days. I was really only stuck there for 5 days, but
right.
It can come back within those 27 days, but I've been really good, and it's a really scary thing. Basically, I just have to now be more careful, and I'm trying to figure out how I can get a fashionable yet good ID bracelet, so I can actually have something that says that I am allergic to this medicine, because I can never get. Was that
an oversight? How did that happen?
I just never. This is basically what they gave me. Me and my mom are both allergic to penicillin, and this isn't penicillin, but it's in the same drug class. So sometimes people that are allergic to penicillin, they can have a reaction to this kind of thing. And I never taken it before, and this is usually an alternative, to penicillin. And I just never taken it before, and it was really crazy, because I woke up on the bus and, I started doing it right. Like, I couldn't breathe, and my, skin, my whole, everything was just kind of, going insane. And then I really didn't think anything of it. And then, it was just going back and forth to the hospital, and I was ready to do the show and everything. And my mom, of course, it just, like I said, having 5 kids, you kind of know when something's more serious. You've seen kind of everything, and it was just, out of all of us, she had never really seen anything like this happen, except it actually happened to my mom when she was a baby, so she knew that she couldn't take it. So it's a really scary thing, having something like that, especially because I never experienced anything like that before, and I wanted to get back on the road so bad. Even when I got home to LA, it was insane. I had to get. And I was in Canada, so I was in the hospital there. Then I had to get on this, medical airplane. I was hooked to the IVs in the airplane. I already don't like flying, and so that was horrible. I went on my first ambulance ride, which that was the only thing I was kind of excited about. I wanted to go on an ambulance. It was very, I was on the stretcher. I was, sending pictures. Of course, my dad, my grandma. My grandma, I had forgotten to tell, and then she was watching TV, and it was Miley hospital.
So she panicked.
No. My grandma panicked, and, all that stuff. So it was good once I got back home, because I could get to my doctor and my family.
Are you in your house? Are you back to your house now?
I am now. I had nurses living with me for a few days, so I could end up being at home and doing all my stuff from home, which is better, so I could be with my dogs and everything.
All right, so we need to talk about rescheduling the dates, because a lot of your fans here and around the country want to know.
The only good part about this whole thing is I feel like I get to go on another tour, which I'm kind of excited about. So I'm going to get to go back on the road.
I want to go through this in a little bit of detail so that people who are listening who had tickets, who have friends that have tickets, can get all this. So, can you hang for one sec?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you laying in bed? Are you still? You're not IV'd and everything.
No, I'm good. I'm up and at 'em.
All right. Kiss FM. So Miley Cyrus with us now. She's back here in LA and on the mend and ready to get back out on the road. And the plan is on Friday you start again?
Well, I go back. I'm leaving this, I guess on Wednesday. I go back. I'm flying to Amsterdam, so I go to my Europe tour. I start that on Friday, and I'm in Europe for a few months. And then when I'm back from Europe, I have a month in between, and then in August, I'm going back on the road, and I get to do all these dates. And I actually added a few shows too.
So all these dates are makeup dates. I'm looking at New York, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Tennessee. August 1 through 14 are all new dates or rescheduled?
Yeah, some of them are rescheduled, and I think there's 2. I think there's one in Canada, and I think we added another one in maybe Philly, or I can't remember. We got to add 2 more shows. So
okay.
I was actually it was the worst, because right when I had got put in the hospital, I was just saying the last 2 weeks of the tour, they were the best spots. spot. So I got to go to Nashville. I was going to go to New York, and all that. So I missed out on some of the really good places. I was playing this little bar in Philly, and I was going to do my big show in Philly, and go play this bar. So we're adding back that club show. So all my dates that I missed, I'm rescheduling, and they're going to be happening the first 2 weeks of August.
So, and for those of you who want to get tickets to any of this, livenation.com on Friday, you'll have a shot to do that and to see Miley. Now, last time we were chatting, Pharrell and I, actually, he was telling us that we wouldn't believe some of your new music to come. So what's next, single-wise?
Well, right now, again, this whole thing, this has really kind of set me back on what I was doing, because I was excited, even after I was going to finish Europe. My plan wasn't really to go out, and back into the U.S. I kind of wanted to get in and make some more music before I went out and, did another ad in some, different countries to Banger Store. Because really, before I do anything else, I'm working on my next single, and I'm thinking about what I want to do with that, and videos and everything. But really, this tour has been so much fun, and the show is so much fun to do that I don't really want to come off the road quite yet. At first, when I got on the road, I panic a little bit anytime I commit to anything. Mm-hmm. I've got some commitment issues.
Oh, finally something I can relate to here.
It is, even when I get on the road the first week, I'm like, oh my God, I'm on tour for 6 months, and I can't change it. That was the worst thing about being in the hospital. I was like, okay, I'm stuck here. Yeah. There's no changing it. And that was the same thing about being on tour. I'm like, okay, I have to do the same show every night. I'm like so different every 2 weeks. I'm like, I don't even know if I'm gonna like doing the show anymore. But the show is so fun. I want everyone to be able to see it, and I haven't got to tour South America or Australia for a while, or I haven't really got to go to many different other places. So I'm trying to be on the road for as long as I can. So I'd like to add some more. Definitely go around the world with the Bangers tour a little bit more.
Do you need us to fatten you up?
When I was in the hospital, and so I wouldn't eat anything because the medicine made me sick except Cracker Barrel. So all I did for 5 days was be on steroids to get myself better and eat Cracker Barrel, so I'm actually okay.
Because that's what we were worried about, that you were being tube fed and that you would just waste away because you don't need to lose any more weight.
No, the best part about being in the hospital or being sick is my mom turned into my everything, and basically I just made her do whatever I wanted for 2 weeks. Because that was the only part is it's like having an assistant, and so I had my mom just doing everything for me and ordering any kind of food I wanted and bringing me ice cream. Most people when they're sick they can't even eat. I'm not that person. I can always eat.
But you're not saying that you stayed an extra day or two in this sickness just to have mom work for you, right?
Barrel.
Okay.
Yeah, just to get some Cracker Barrel.
Well, I'm glad you're doing better. Everyone was really worried about you, and thanks for checking in with us.
Dude, it's so good. I went MIA a little bit, even on my Twitter, because I was it was hard for me to have people, especially, my fans weren't, but some people were being, a little selfish in the situation and thinking that this is something, that I, people were, mad at me for, bailing. I'm like, this is not this isn't, I got a little cold and I'm wanting an excuse to play hooky. There's no part of me, me, and how hyper I am. There is no part of me that wants to lay in bed and not be on stage. That's what I was trying to explain to everybody is, there is nothing that makes me want to be in this hospital there, and I wanted to be on the tour so bad, and it was such a bummer. So I'm so happy to get back on the road. I'm happy I'm better. My fans are awesome. They're completely understanding about it, and really, me and my family are both really appreciative, because now I can be 100% better rather than getting on the road and, not being 100% and having something like this happen again. Now I'm just 100% better, and I'm ready to go out and be on the road for a while.
Good girl. Well, take vitamins, get rest, hang tight, and thanks for sharing this with us. I'll see you soon. All right.
All right. Cool. Thank you so much.
Okay, Miles. Bye.
Bye, buddy.
Cyrus, their first conversation publicly since being in the hospital, but said she got admitted with one thing, then had that massive allergic reaction. Now, going to be better. Back out on tour starting Friday. 9:28.